Hello everyone, my name is Raven Geeks and today we are going to be ranking every single character currently in the NEL arc depending on their skill level. Now of course I have the tier set up, I did this all beforehand besides, putting some of the characters that aren't in the NEL in their non-applicable tier, but we'll get to that. Anyway, this is all my opinion, so before we get into this I want to state that please take my opinions with a grain of salt. Everyone's entitled to their own thoughts and feelings regarding some characters, and of course my list of characters are going to be different depending on other factors and basically my own experience of reading the manga and how I interpret things. And of course, if you guys like this video and want to see more, hit that like and subscribe button. At the time of doing this video, I am very close to 2,200 subscribers, so if you can help us get there, that would be greatly appreciated. I also have a BLUELOCK Discord, the Neo Egoist Geeks, where me and other BLUELOCK content creators interact with other BLUELOCK fans. A link will be left down below. Alright, so to kick off this tier list, I will just go through the categories of these ranks. Non-applicable stands for the individuals who aren't in the NEL arc, so I'll just be placing them there because we have quite a few characters that aren't in the NEL. And then we have, of course, the tier above it, Forever Benched. These are the people who are in the NEL arc, but, aren't getting anywhere because of their current skill level. Then we have BLUELOCK's low tiers. These are people who have played, people who have got a bid, but not reliably getting through because, their skill level is not carrying them. We've got BLUELOCK's supporting cast, which is likely the people who make it into the top 23 will not feature as the main lineup on BLUELOCK's team. Then we have BLUELOCK's S ranks. These are the best of BLUELOCK. Then we have the new Gen 11 rankings, and then we have world class rankings. I didn't want to label the top tier as professional because that is quite a loose term. We're going to label Isagi as non-applicable for now because we have an updated variant of Isagi down here, and that'll be the same for Rin because for some reason they have two variants in this list and I have no clue why. I'm just not going to question it. To start things off, we have Bachara, and Bachara, we all know he is a strong, valuable asset to Bachara. He is one of 3 goal scorers. Atoya scored 1 goal, Lavinho scored 1 goal, and Bachara scored the rest. And for that reason, of course, he's in BLUELOCK's S tier ranks. He's one of the best dribblers in BLUELOCK, if not the best. Could just tell by the way that he's been built. He is built to be the best dribbler of the series. Of course, he goes in S tier ranking. He may not be overall S tier in terms of his stats. Of course, we haven't seen his stats since the Bachara game, so that's subject to change, but he is amongst BLUELOCK's S tiers. Kunigami, of course, on a technical scale, an S tier, overall in terms of his rankings, he is the highest ranked BLUELOCKer in terms of stats. Chigiri is amongst the same, but I believe Chigiri is better than Bachara. As much as dribbling skill is an effective skill to get around individuals, Chigiri's speed is something so immense, and we've seen from examples of LOKI that speed is a constant factor in how you can overtake individuals with more technical skill. Raichi. Now, I believe Raichi is going to be in BLUELOCK's supporting cast, and people may actually think that I'm doing him too highly, that he should go in BLUELOCK's low tiers, because he's technically number 23 on the rankings. With his overall ability, he's probably one of the better defenders that we have in BLUELOCK, because of his man-marking ability, his immense stamina. He deserves his credit. And Gargamaro, I believe he will get the BLUELOCK S tier ranks treatment. I believe he will definitely be featured in the starting lineup, and also, whenever we get his stats, he will be revealed as an S rank. Igaguri, sadly, BLUELOCK's low tiers. It's not to say that he hasn't done well in representing BLUELOCK in terms of skill in the NEL arc. He does have his moments of fouling Rin, and of course being kind of a nuisance, but since he's been subbed off, he's pretty much confirmed to be out of the NEL. His dreams are over. It's heavily implied that his dreams are over, so I would say he is BLUELOCK's low tiers, but he has been on the pitch, so he's not forever benched. Then we have these guys, which are put in non-applicable because none of them are around. Then we have Burū. Burū could be argued as new Gen 11 tier. By the way, if I was to put a character in new Gen 11 tier, it's to argue that the character deserves the new Gen 11 title, not that the characters themselves are new Gen 11 already. So I should make that clear. If I'm going to put any of these BLUELOCKers in the new Gen 11 tier, I need to specify it now. It's a term used for the individuals who deserve the title because of their skill showcase, much rather than the individuals who already are new Gen 11. And I'm going to put Burū in S rank as the best individual within this category, and it's purely because like his individual skill is immense. His teamwork with Don Lorenzo is incredible. You can't deny his results, and Burū is one of the best players within Blue Lock to ever do it. Next up, we have Nico. I will put Nico in Blue Lock's supporting cast. I believe he doesn't have any more games. I think he will come up short compared to Raichi. Next up, we have Nagi. Nagi's definitely going to be like the contender for like if you will get into the starting lineup or not, but his bid is currently higher than Reo, so it's unlikely that Reo would overtake him, but he is technically considered as one of Blue Lock's S tiers in terms of stat total, and I don't doubt that he will get his comeuppance bid, and I believe I was one of the individuals who believed that he will gain his original bid of 88 million after the showcase against Baccia, and then the same case for Reo. I do believe Reo will actually get a goal in this next match, but depending on whether or not that pushes him up all the way to S rank, I don't know. Once again, the rank of S ranks of Blue Lock depicted of only their stats is depicted on the individuals who have genuinely played the best, in my opinion. And of course, like the level of individuals who represent their field of play the best. So I wouldn't actually consider Reo as a better player than Gargamaru, but Gargamaru plays his role so much better than Reo does. Zantetsu, he's definitely seemed like a supporting cast, but I don't think he's getting eliminated. I don't think, yeah, he doesn't deserve to be in low tier. I think he's supporting cast. There's another Rin on this list, so we'll put that Rin in non-applicable. Next up, we have Ryu. Ryu, I believe he definitely goes in supporting cast. He's one of the better defenders. Tokimitsu, sadly, low tiers. I would actually say he's worse than Igaguri, because not only has Igaguri done more, but Tokimitsu's actively gotten a yellow card on the field whilst Noah was on the field. And I know that's kind of a tough situation, being faced off against the world's best striker. Man, he's not done anything, and I believe he's one of the individuals who actually will get eliminated from Blue Lock. Alright, so now we're reaching some professionals, some actual professional level players. So, of course, these are going to be world-class players. It's hard to deny their skill, but let's list them as the order I believe they're in. I believe Luna is amongst the best of the world class, while Silver's just behind, then Adam Blake, then Pablo. I think Pablo's the worst because I think Pablo is more versatile in the midfield range. Next up, we have Shido. Now, Shido is amongst S ranks. Stuff is up for debate when it comes to Shido, depending on like if he's one of the best players or if he's just a fraud, but his goal scoring potential is immense, and not to mention he has now been more open to the idea of actually passing to individuals, has shown some dribbling feats, but I don't think he goes above Nagi. As much as his bid is above Nagi's, I really think that the supporting role elements of Shido's PXG team is what allowed him to get to this point, whilst Nagi pretty much only has Reo ever since Agi decided to, you know, not help him anymore because he's not taking his advice. People may not agree with that, but it's whatever. Then we have Karasu. Karasu, with his recent Metavision unlock, I believe he does go just behind Reo. I do believe Reo would have a higher level and understanding of Metavision in comparison to Karasu at this point, and that's just natural because Reo's had it for longer that we've seen. Like, people could say Karasu's had Metavision all this time, but like, we've not seen it. It's not evident. We've only seen it in the recent chapters, and that's just how it is. Otoya, he's one of the goal scorers, but I honestly don't see his accolades going up any further. I believe he's fallen off the biggest when it comes to one of the top players of Blue Lock recently. Yukimiya, he's one of the best dribblers, and I believe he is like top 3 dribblers of Blue Lock. But where would I actually put him? It's not to disregard his abilities, but he's not being played, and he may be playing next chapter, but of course we have just as likely of a chance of Neru being played because he hasn't been represented, and I also believe he'll get the next manga cover in order for it to make kind of a bit of sense, in order to keep the recurring theme of characters who aren't professional level players as the main cover stars. So I'm going to put Yukimiya. I won't deny, like, Yukimiya is definitely worth. Yeah, I'll put Yukimiya above Nagi. You know what? I feel confident about that. I may adjust Reo actually. I feel like Reo does deserve to be in Blue Lock's S ranks. Of course, we have quite a few individuals there now. I believe that seems right in my eyes. I don't believe I can discard Reo's ability. Still holding quite a high bid in comparison to other Blue Lockers, even worse, failing constantly. Hiyori, however, definitely goes here. Do I think he's better than Yukimiya? That could be up for debate. I don't know. But like, he was busted in Ubers and then he hit a heavy nerf in the current match. Next up we have Nanase, and yeah, I believe he's also the wall, but I think he's done more than Zantetsu in this match, being ambidextrous and also like heavily assisted with Rin. And then we have Kiora, who's gotten 1 assist in this match in pretty much has died since. Like, we haven't seen him do anything at all. But one assist is more than what these two have done, so... Then we have Kurina, and I believe Kurina is one of the most reliable passers. We can't deny that Kurina is an incredible assister, and also one of the fastest players of BLUELOCK, so therefore, yeah, he deserves... no, not there. I say there, it's purely because of his stamina drain that he is being let down constantly. Sai Itoshi, of course, we know who he is, we know what he's about, he's new Gen 11 tier, obviously. Iku's definitely going to be amongst BLUELOCK's S ranks. Better defender, I believe, yeah, we'll put him there. I believe that's fair. Sendo, I'm going to put Sendo, he scored a goal and he's actually been incredibly helpful. I actually believe Sendo is going to be higher than Karasu. We're going to rush through quite a few of these now. We got BLUELOCK's low tiers. Nero actually may be ending up in supporting cast, so I'm going to put him there. And I have some faith in him. Maybe he gets subbed on. Maybe he gets subbed on in replacement of Igaguri. And Nero will finally have a time to showcase his abilities. Will he make it through? Who knows? I'm just leaving hope for him. And then we have Genfukaku, who is... he's the worst of the goalkeeper and has had no notable saves on the screen, so I would have to be tempted in order to put him in BLUELOCK's low tiers, because he's just not... you know what? I believe this is fair. Like, Nero, you're the highest. I want to see you play. Fukaku, you haven't had a save, but you have a higher bid. So, but now we're moving on to Rin. Within the recent manga chapters, it's been alright confirmed that Kaiser is inferior to Rin in terms of personal level of skill. Like, Rin in terms of skill is better than Kaiser, and Kaiser's actively admitted that by agreeing with Isagi. So, yeah, Rin is new Gen 11 tier. Of course, Aero's also done a video on this. I was going to do the video, but I don't really need to do the video. I already talked about if Rin was going to be high tier or not, and it really just came down to if they had the evidence that Kaiser was worse than Rin in comparison to skill. But it's not to say like Kaiser's skill is bad, because he's still new Gen 11 tier. And of course, world class, no one knows going to be on top for now, or maybe forever. He is known as the world's best striker, so it's hard to deny that. He's literally got the title. Then we have Kaiser, who I will rank below Rin. Ness isn't like BLUELOCK's S ranks. I want to believe Ness gets his development that he deserves and maybe becomes more of an individual player, more of that individual midfield. I want him to be new Gen 11, but he is right now non-applicable. And it's same with like Grim and this guy, because they're not part of BLUELOCK's project, and they're not even like good enough to be on the new Gen 11 rankings. It's unfortunate because I would love to rank Ness in new Gen 11, but it's becoming even more unlikely more and more that we get into this current match and its final moments of Munich versus PXG that we'll see Ness at all. Anyway, Lavinho, I believe Lavinho above or below Luna, because Noel Noah is deemed to be one of the best. He's in his 30s though. Luna, I'm pretty sure, is in his 20s. I'm going to go with, like, what the rankings are in terms of the NEL. And, of course, we know the rankings from there. But, of course, I will probably have a little bit of a different opinion when it comes to Chris Prince. Chris Prince is going to go second for now. Argy. I would love Argy to be new Gen 11 level. And I'm pretty sure people are just going to disagree with me. But I'm going to say that he deserves the title. He's an individual who has showcased immense amounts of skill. He is amongst the worst of the possible title. Give him the title. I'm biased here, by the way. I'm biased. I would actually put him in non-applicable, but I love Argy so much, I'm going to put him there. So this is me admitting you guys can be right. You guys can be right about Argy. I do not care. I'm just biased. Loki being world class. I believe Loki is amongst the top 5, of course. So he's not behind Luna. I think he's above Lavinho, because we've seen like immense amount of dribbling skill is overcome by immense amount of speed. Is why I listed Chigri above Bachelor. Then we have Snuffy, who I believe is the second best player, as much as Chris Prince is known as the second best striker. Snuffy is known as the best overall player. He can play in like any position. He's very flexible, and of course knows martial arts to back up his, of course, accolades in order to be able to be a better player. His technical skill is immense. He brings his team together through his own influence and formations. He is a tactical genius. And now we get into the final 3. So, we have Don Lorenzo. Don Lorenzo is, of course, new Gen 11 tier, above Argy. And now, this is also the other awkward thing. Charles. Charles is not part of BLUELOCK. but he's not New Gen 11 level, I don't believe, at least in my opinion. Like, he's really good, but of course, he has quite a bit to go in order to reach that tier. But then you can also argue, is he better than Agi? Probably. He's probably better than Agi. He'll probably be better written than Agi, so that would give him an advantage. But if I was going to rank people in terms of their base skill, I would believe that Charles is actually going here. I don't think he can outdo, like, Burū, Chigiri, and Bachara. And if I was going to rank Ness, I would be ranking Ness just below Charles. I believe Charles is a better individual passer now because we've seen more from Charles and Ness has not had an evolution. Then we have Isagi as the final individual to talk about. And Isagi is a bit of a weird one. He's definitely above Ness. Is he above Charles? I would say so. It comes down to individual ability, and I believe like current individual Isagi is better than Charles, but not better than Bachara. But that's to not discredit him at all, because we know his limits, and his limits are being a team player in order to get the win, and basically use himself as a machine in order to get goals. He is the talented learner. He is the talented learner in order to surpass the geniuses. But anyway, that's my list of characters I believe are better than others in terms of skill. This is my tier list of characters based on their skill level. So if you guys disagree with my rankings, be sure to leave your opinions down in the comments below. I know there's going to be something in hot contention with regarding to my list, and that's completely fine. I welcome it. Agi realistically would actually be like somewhere around here, but I'm biased. Give him the New Gen 11 title, please. Show him more. I want to see more Agi. I will gladly voice act him. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you all have very happy holidays. Of course, a Merry Christmas for whoever supports it. It's been really great to do everything that I've done on this channel. I've just been loving it. And of course, we have one more video to come out before the end of the year, so I hope you all are excited for that. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching this video, and until next time, peace.